So this is the damage from a beetle. I had some beetles on here the other night, and the product that I'm going to tell you about I actually put on here, and I've actually helped them. I might find a few and everything, but you can look at my leaves. You see what the damage they've done. And if I don't treat this early, what it'll do is it'll effectively kill my leaves and everything for the smaller plants. There's one right there. See the beetle? That is the beetle that I'm talking about. These things will destroy your crop and everything if you get a lot of them. So the key to it is that number one is I can pick them off, and when I pick them off, I can put them in a bucket of soapy water. I do not have any of that with me. Now there's a way that you can treat it. I do not have a little squirt bottle, which that's, on me. But what you can do is take like 4 tablespoons of soapy water. I believe it's tablespoons, and then just spray onto them when you see them, and it'll kill them. But what I'm going to be introducing to you is called Diametrius Earth is what I'm going to show you. Let me show you this now. This is the product, Diametrius Earth. This is a product that what it is that it's made from fossil shells, like shells are off, and what happens is they granulate this. This is a very, very powdery, it's powder, it makes a mess, but it's a powder form. The other thing that I want to show you is that you see this right here. If you ever get a product that says this OMRI, if it is listed as an OMRI, if that's listed at, that's for organic gardening. This is all natural. This is a food-based. If you can see that, this is food-based. You can find some of this product that may have some other chemicals in there to use for other things, but always read that and make sure any product you get, especially if you're looking at to be organic as close to be, you want to OMRI on it, okay? So to understand this is a powder form. Now, you'll say, well, David, what will it do to the bees? I'm glad you asked that question. The thing of it is this foolproof that it's not going to kill the bees? Any product that you get, you can have the access to what it means that they can get it. What you want to do is that you want to use this on the plants. If I use this over here where my squash is, I would regularly use it at night or real early in the morning when they're not out yet. And the other thing is I would spread it around the base of my plant and then on the leaves and try to keep it away from my flowers. But I'm talking about my corn right now. I don't have to worry about the pollinators right now. What I have to worry about is getting the foliage and everything and these things to grow, and these are what the beetles are going to do. So what I'm going to show you is that there's 2 methods that you can do with this, or 2 applications that you can do. Number one, you can just take your hand and just sprinkle it around with it, or the other thing is that you will see on here it has a spray. Using my hand, it'll make a mess, and actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on the ground first around the corn, and then I'm going to sprinkle it on the leaves and everything. I've already watered it, so it's okay, but I want to try to eliminate these beetles because right now the beetles are concentrating on this young corn, and I want to get the corn growing and everything, so I'll have some more for this to harvest this year and everything. So I'm going to show you this, and I'm going to actually apply this and then let you see what I'm doing. Container, it comes in a bag. I like this because it's easy to pull out, and then I can get the powder off of it, and it doesn't get on the container plus in the bag. If you look in the bag, you can see how powdery this is. This is very, very powdery. Now the wind's blowing just a tiny bit. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually, now see, I got a bee floating around here. So I'm just gonna be very careful with the bees and everything. They're coming around, they're checking some things out, but I need to be able to kill these bees. So, I mean, no, I'm not gonna kill these bees. I need to kill these beetles. But so I'm gonna be putting this on my plant and everything. The sun and everything will not hurt it. I just wanna keep the beetles at bay and everything and try to get rid of them. Now they will, and they can go to other plants. You can put this on your rose bushes, you can put it on your flowers, you're not gonna hurt it. A good recommendation is what I did the other night is that I actually put it on at night. And where do they go? Well, here was the problem. I sprayed it all over my foliage, but I didn't put it on my ground. And that was the number one problem that I had. So what I did is that I want to make sure that I'm able to get in here and to be able to put it on my ground, because that's where they like to go, and what they'll do is that's where they go and hide, is in the soil. So I'm going to put it on the soil first, and then I'll come back and then I'll put it on my foliage. So very simply what I've done is got a handful of it in my hand, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk around here to my garden. It takes a little bit of time, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lay it. I don't have to lay it too lightly. I just want to be able to sprinkle this in here, and it doesn't matter if it gets on my foliage down here, but I'm going to cover this whole bed down here with this Diametrius Earth. And I'm on the middle of the bed now. I'm reaching way over, and I'm just trying to hit it as best that I can, what I'm doing. So I have pulled the container out. I wanted to show you it because what was happening was it was blotching up and everything. The wind's not blowing, but I want to show you how this works. Basically, it's accordion style. And basically, I can spray it. If I don't spray it hard, if I spray it really hard, you're going to see how it does like that, and it'll blow. So what I'm trying to do is I know which way the wind was kind of blowing, so I'm going that way with it. And as you can tell, what I'm doing is I'm just blowing it on my corn. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm walking down, I'm allowing it to spray, and I'm watching it. So if the wind starts blowing towards my other plants, I won't do it. You don't have to go real heavy with this. The leaves don't have to be completely white, because what happens is that if it gets on the beetles, it gets on their bodies, is basically what it does. Is like a term that I saw this with this product is like shards of glass. Basically what it does is that this product gets into their shell, which they are, these beetles and other things like squash bugs. I mean, it'll affect, you know, ticks. It'll take care of a lot of insects, you know, that you're trying to get rid of. But if they're exoskeleton, exoskeleton, that means they have an outer shell. They have a shell that actually, so what this does is it cuts into it and it causes them to irritate their skin. And actually what it does is that what happens is that they become dehydrated, they die, and they want to try to get out of that shell. And of course, when that happens, that's actually how it eliminates it. Now, some people may not like to do it this way, and that's fine. That's why I want to give you options of other things that I've seen that'll use that's more or less. But I love this stuff. I think it works. I've seen it work. The other night when I used it, I probably had, I would say 20 to 30, even more of beetles. Now that was coming at night. So I did not treat the soil in the bed. So what could cause that is that it could have happened more effectively, where it could have, you know, not even, that wouldn't have affected it because it was all on the leaves. But what they'll do is they'll go to other plants. So I have to check my other plants to make sure that I don't have any beetles on the other places. As you can tell, I've had to work on this video off and on for the past couple days and everything. And I hope the information that I'm giving you is something that you'll be able to use and everything. And that's what I want to do at Dave's Raised Bed Garden. I want to give you the different options. So basically what I wanted to try to do is what I've always explained is that the things that I feel like that are working for me, I want to be able to share with you, because, and I know it has to depend on the climate, it has to depend on the zone you're in and everything. And like right now, I mean, it's very humid out here. It's we got thunderstorms that are trying to roll in. Sometimes it'll miss us. Sometimes it's like yesterday, we came in very strong and we had a lot of storms, a lot of rain and everything, and a lot of wind. So the different variations, and right now this is the time that we're really being hit with the bugs and the insects here in my region, and 7B, which is in Tobaccoville, North Carolina. And I know this area in the Carolinas is that we have a lot of humidity here, and at times we do get the rain and everything, and we do have periods of dryness. But another thing that I want to show you is that I have inclined to find out more about, and I used to use these and everything, but believe it or not, it's been hard to get. I actually had to order them online on Amazon. I actually went to the local home centers, the Home Depots and the Lowe's, but I started out at the local places that I like to use, which is LTD in Southern States in King, and then also Mitchell's Nursery and everything. And I had a hard time finding these. They were actually out. And so what I did is I finally had to order them online on Amazon. But this is another alternative that you can do, these little Beetle Bags. I know I used them several years ago, and I ended up getting a lot in there. It's a good way to use. It's very easy to use. You can actually hang them up. You can actually get those little like plant crooks or hooks and everything and stake them in the ground, and you can hang them on that, or else you can even just use a regular like tomato stake and actually nail it to it and just hang it to it and everything. And these little items is another good alternative that you can use. Now remember this, that the beetle's lifespan is not very long. It's actually several weeks. it can be, I've seen the variation of like 35 days to 60 days. So it just depends on that. And remember this too, they start in the ground. So whatever you treat, that's a way to do it. But this is a good deterrent if you know that they're coming in, especially if you have rose bushes and other plants that they really like to eat and stuff. So you can use this too. But I hope this video that I've showed you is a way that you can use and giving you information about the Diametrius Earth. I really like the product. I think it's a good product to use. I try to be as organic as I can, but understand this, there's just sometimes that I have to find all of alternatives that I need to, and maybe next year I might be only using the dish liquid in the water and pick them off and so forth, or else find a spray that I can use that may be more organic and everything. So there's different methods that you can use, and I hope the information that I've given you is something that you can use and something that you'll be able to try in your garden and everything. And I'm just thankful that you're being a part of Dave's Raised Bed Garden. I thank you for the likes that I've been getting. And again, I want to ask you to do is that when you see the video that pops up maybe on my YouTube page at Dave's Raised Bed Garden or other that maybe somebody has shared, go to my YouTube page when you click on that video and hit the like button. That's a way that I can be able to get more information out. And also what it does is it puts me in a category that they'll actually share with other people that may not know about Dave's Raised Bed Garden. And then subscribe to my channel, because what it does is that when you subscribe, I also give information that I like, videos and information that I get from other gardeners that I've relied on for the past few years that have really helped me. And I want you to be a part of their, their YouTube channels and everything, and be a part of them pages. So I'm going to actually share those too, and the information and everything that I give to you. Now, thank you for viewing my page, and thank you so much for being a part of Dave's Raised Bed Garden. And as always, until next time, take care.